Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 Manager 2022 and the first part of Season 3 of our Aston Martin Road to Glory career mode. Of course, we have already reached glory in this series. We managed to win the Drivers' and Constructors' title in Season 2 with Fernando Alonso becoming the Drivers' World Champion for the third time. But of course, things are surely going to be a lot different in Season 3, and I cannot wait to see how it goes. I think we're going to be in for a really, really tough season on the back of that success. We had a tough end to Season 2, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in Season 3. Please hit the like button down below if you do enjoy, and subscribe for daily F1 Manager videos. It would be fantastic if we could hit 150 likes for the start of a new season on the new patch, and just seeing what is going to happen. I have no idea who our drivers are going to be. I have no idea who our staff are going to be. Basically, everything is up for renewal at the end of the year. I think it would be pretty harsh on Fernando Alonso to boot him out after winning the championship. And he absolutely dominated it in the end. Very, very comfortable. He was the leader pretty much all the way through. He, of course, won the first race of the season as well in a very dramatic Bahrain Grand Prix. I don't think we're going to be winning races next season, though. I've just got an awful feeling we're going to be back in the midfield. But about halfway through the season, we did set our sights on the research of the car for the regulation changes, and I'm hoping that makes it a big effect. And because other teams were trying to catch us up, I'm really hoping that we have stole the march on them somewhat. But we do have a fair few things coming up. So of course our car parts development is locked, so we can't do anything with that. We did at the end of last episode start investing heavily in our facilities, and you can see the CFD simulator, the factory and the design centre will be getting big upgrades in the off season. So it's kind of a waiting game until something happens, and that's exactly what we're going to be experiencing today. We've got our board performance review coming up, and some research is going to be complete before the year is out. So let's get into it then. Our board performance review will be the first thing that we see. Here's our annual post-season report. Of course, all of those guys are secured for the next few years, and it's the same with the drivers. Fernando Alonso is in place for next season. His monthly salary is $708,000. I don't know exactly what his buyout clause would be. 4.6 million. Pierre Gasly would be a little bit more expensive, 8.8 million. But if the right driver becomes available, I don't see why not. And I know Lewis Hamilton will be going. But here we go. So drivers championship 1. Congratulations, your leadership has helped Fernando earn their championship win. Yeah. And Constructors Championship 1 as well with Aston Martin. Research complete on the underfloor. And here is the end of season board review. So we managed to actually score points in every single race last season. That is amazing. You know, we had some really tough races in the 2022 season, and to turn it around, we put our focus very, very early in Season 1 into Season 2's car. There was regulation changes. We threw a lot of money and a lot of development into our starting car, which was very, very good at the start of the season. We developed mid-season. We probably had by far the best car. We were dominating races by that point. And then I said, no, we've got a comfortable lead in the championship. Other teams have took points off each other. We took our opportunities. We're going to cease development on the 2023 car, and we're going to throw it over to next season. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out for us. But we have completed both of those objectives. We have now become a leader in terms of team rating. It's gone up to 764. Constructors is 618. Drivers 130, and Heritage 16 now. Board confidence is high, and our team bonus is £1.5 million. So, no idea what our results are going to look like, or our objectives are going to look like for next season. But our underfloor research has been sorted out now. Our pit crew are going to get worse over the season, and our regulation changes for 2024. Let's have a little look at them now. So we are going to get the fastest lap bonus point back. We are also going to have double points for the last race. Of course, massive aerodynamic changes. And of course, the season money prize share is going to go up for the top 4. It's going to go down for 5 to 9, but stay the same for Williams, essentially. Let's research a new car part then. So I think underfloor is going to be the big one. We've got 3. Well, hang on. Let's just have a little look at the calendar. Are we realistically going to get any more research in? So the side pods are going to be done. I mean, they're not going to be. So I suppose, do we do... No, you know what? I think this is going to be our last research project. We're going to throw everything behind this. Because the underfloor is just such a crucial part of the car. So if we throw all of those man hours behind it, you can see it's going to have a big impact on the car. Oh, February. I don't think they'll let me do that, no. So 26th of Jan. I suppose, I actually can't do that. So that's not going to work. Oh, yeah, that doesn't do anything. So, yeah, we can't do an underfloor. Can't do an underfloor. That's a pity. What about a front wing? Can we get that in time? 22nd of Jan? But if we were to put 8th of Jan? That's not going to work. Could be a bit of an issue, this. Suspension. So suspension can come through for us. And rear wing, we can't do so. I guess it is going to have to be the suspension. And we might as well throw everything behind it because we're not going to get anything else done in time. So let's just have a really good suspension for next year. Particular focus is going to go on these bits of the car. I'll just make sure I've got those 5 on there. So 21st of December. A particular focus on that. What we've sort of been saying is a little bit less on these parts. Yeah, that looks okay to me. That's going to be a decent amount of research involved. Perfect. Right, so the suspension is going to be researched nicely. So let's continue on and see how it goes. Side pod research is done. Nice. Cool. Okay, helipad poor condition. Yes, I think we want to upgrade that. And continue to the end of December, when basically everything hits the fan. Rear wing research has been done. Unused scouts, I'm not that bothered about scouts at the minute. They're not going to get any details in by the end of the year. Helipad is complete. And there's our next bout of research complete as well. So the suspension is fine. Race simulator is in poor condition. How much money we got? 19 million. Yeah, let's go refurbish instead. Just because I feel like we're going to have to spend a lot of money. Yeah. Right. So, idle engineers. Yeah, not really bothered about that. So here we go. I think we are pretty much ready to start the new season. I think people are free agents now. So yeah, Lewis Hamilton is a free agent, and he is open to negotiations with us. In fact, everybody is, except Charles Leclerc, weirdly, and Carlos Sainz. But Max Verstappen is open to negotiation now. If we were to bring Lewis Hamilton in, what would he fancy? We brought him in for car 2. I think it would have to be 1 season. You know what? I feel too harsh on Fernando. I feel too harsh. Bottas is a free agent as well, as is Ricciardo. Intrigued to see where all of those drivers go. I'm happy with my driver lineup. I don't think we need to worry about it. Fernando's got a development point. Is he going to become like 89 rated now? It's very close to it. Oscar Piastri, I want to make him 80 rated very, very shortly. Staff upgrades, might as well upgrade them while we can. But I'd quite like to bring in the other guys. And we need to do it now, essentially. I nearly pressed start of new season. And that would have been a disaster. So, first things first, let's have a look at Martin Werner. So he's head of aerodynamics, I believe. Right, so Dirk de Beer, 84 rated, free agent. Let's see if we can bring him in. So we're going to say 3 seasons. I'm going to say 1.5 million, starting bonus of 70,000. So let's see what he says. He's happy with 3 seasons, not happy with his wage though. Right. So let's move that up to 2.1. Let's see. Oh, still not happy. This is quite a lot of money, isn't it, for a head of aerodynamics? Let's see, 3 million. Oh my goodness, he's still not happy. Is this guy serious? 4 million then? 333,000 a month. Hey, that's better. Okay, right, let's get him hired. So we have Dirk de Beer. That's a very, very good signing, I think. Head of aerodynamics. That should help our upgrades somewhat. Now, T Chung is actually pretty good, but Enrico Cardiel, how much would it cost to bring him in? Not a lot, really. So we'll see. We'll see what we can do here. So we'll say 3 seasons, and we'll say 2.5 million just off the bat. You know what? I'm quite tempted to just stay with T Chung, because I don't think oops, I didn't mean to do that. Right. Yeah, race engineers, I'm a little bit more willing. Pete Bonington, I think we got to bring him in. We got to bring in Pete Bonington. 94 rated. I mean, that's ridiculous. I do like Chris Cronin, don't get me wrong, but yeah. All right, let's go for £1 million. 80,000 on the bonus. Yeah, okay. So he's not happy with $1 million. Let's go for 1.8. See if he likes that. He might accept that. Ooh, he doesn't. 2 million? His patience is running out with us. Hey, that should be enough. Yes! Pete Bonington is going to be our engineer next year. That is awesome. That's really, really good. So Pete Bonington is going to be joining. That makes me so tempted to bring in Lewis. Oh! Oh, I need to stop myself. I need to stop myself because we don't have unlimited money here. Now, Riccardo Mosconi was also Mercedes. Pretty damn good. Riccardo Adami, of course, very, very good. Now, what I'm looking for essentially is feedback here, because that's what Ben Mitchell struggles with. So feedback 92 for him. Giampiero Lambiasi 92. It's his communication that's not great. But actually, pit crew management and feedback is pretty good. I mean, communication. Yeah, the other two is what I'm really, looking for. I think Giampiero Lambiasi. I never thought I'd say this, but we're gonna bring him in to be. To be Fernando Alonso's race engineer next season. I'm so tempted to try and get Lewis Hamilton. Oh, it's horrible. It is horrible. No, we don't need that much money. And to be honest, we don't need 2 million, I don't think. Let's go 1.8. Let's go 30,000 on the bonus. Let's try and get him in. Perfect. Awesome. Right, so he is in. So we got Giampiero Lambiasi and Peter Bonington as our race engineers next season. That is pretty exciting. Now, oh my goodness. The question is, do we try and get Lewis in? I mean, how much? What contract's Alonso on? He's on 8.5. We're going to offer Lewis Hamilton the same contract as Fernando Alonso, and if he takes that, then of course we'll hire him. But if it's going to cost us any more, then we won't. We're sort of getting 5 years out of him. That's a big thing for me. Fernando Alonso is 42 years old now. And we've seen towards the end of last season, Lewis Hamilton was absolutely amazing. Fernando Alonso was as well. And Pierre Gasly, if anybody, was making the mistakes. But Gasly's young. I think Gasly's still got a lot to prove. So, I'm going to start off with £150,000. Race target bonus. We're going to give him 80,000, and we're going to say we want you to finish in the top 5. Let's see. Yeah, it's pretty close. This is our one and only second offer. He wants a lot more money. It's just the idea of having Pete and Lewis. No, I really can't justify Lewis's salary. I think the absolute maximum I can go for is 12 million. That's the absolute maximum I can do. Oh. His patience is low, so this is the final offer. And we'll go all out here. We'll go £14 million. And I'm gonna regret this. Nah, he doesn't want to join us anyway. I don't think he will accept another contract offer. But we're not even getting close, that's the problem. This is double Alonso's contract. Nah. I think that's it. Nah. We can't go for more than that. I'm sorry, Lewis. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Yeah. I just couldn't justify it. Yeah. You know, Lewis is amazing. But I just, yeah. We can't do it. Right. I think we're ready to go. I think we are ready to go. Fernando Alonso with his driver number 1. We're ready to go into the season. Let's do it. Start new season. Welcome to the new season. It's time to review this year's regulations and manage this season's engine. So, of course, we were with Ferrari last year and negotiate new obligations. So, let's go into our sponsorship obligations. Merchandising, I mean... Yeah, I mean, that's a silly amount. Race day factory event for the day of the race. I mean, that's fine. That's fine by me. There's nothing we can really do about that. Factory event. That's fine. We'll up that. Driver appearances. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. Right. Race simulator events. Let's say 10 of them. Well, I mean, to be honest with you, let's do 6. Race hospitality. 7. Memorabilia room event. Nah, not worth it. We're not even going to bother with a memorabilia room event. Right, so pre-season lump sum is going to be 17 million. Income per race is going to be 4 million. Season obligations, 12 million. We got 95 million pounds for the main fund. 107 million in total then. Okay. Cool. So our starting balance will be 18 million. And that's okay. Right. Okay. Right. 7th or above. I think we'll settle for that. I'm assuming that's our new season objective. They still want us to be a points contender. Target seasons remain in 1. So we've still got to do that, weirdly, even though we succeeded. Sponsor funding is fine. Cool. Right. Technical changes, we know. Front wing. Yeah, okay. Right, that's fine. Financial stuff, we know the season prize share is going to increase. Sport and regulations, we know that's going to be yes and yes. Right, powertrain. Now, we were with Ferrari last season. And to be honest, we had very good power most of the season. The thing I was a little concerned about was the durability, really. It was better than Mercedes. I think we just stick with Ferrari, really. Yeah. If you look at that. I mean, Red Bull are pretty good in most aspects. But yeah, we don't like Red Bull. So we will confirm that we will stick with Ferrari. That's going to be 20 million straight away. Okay. Right, I'm really intrigued at who is going to be where. So, car part development open. So, we've got Giampiero Lambiasi. That's fine. Pete Bonington as well. So, Bonington... I think it makes sense to have Bonington with Fernando, really. I think. If I'm honest. Yeah. I honestly think that makes slightly more sense. And then Lambiasi with Pierre. Right, that's cool. Development point for Piastri. That's good. Regulations in effect. Unless ATR allocations is done. Of course. So because we finished first, we obviously get less wind tunnel time and CFD simulation time. That's a bit of a bugger. But the period is opened. Our car looks okay, actually. In many aspects, it's pretty good. Especially in low speed, medium speed, and high speed. That looks pretty good compared to the rest of the grid. So, let's get ourselves some upgrades. I tell you what, we could be in for a decent season here by the looks of it. So, let's get a new project going. So, definitely areas that we need to improve. Brake cooling and engine cooling. So, let's go for a bit of a chassis upgrade. And yeah, we don't have many stuff's going. That's fine. So design focus. Airflow, I think, needs to have a bigger focus. Yep, I think that's okay. That's going to take us 33 days. So let's get 2 people working on that on a normal. Let's get a new suspension made as well. Yep. That's fine. With a particular performance focus on drag reduction. A little bit less focus on that. Which will increase our potential elsewhere. Yep, that looks good. Just trying to make this a little bit more efficient here. That takes us up to 13th. Yeah, that's fine. Right. Okay. Yep. 2 people working on that and go normal. And then... where else do we want to go? Side pods. Work on the cooling. Right. Okay. A little bit more focus on these areas of the car. That should help us, I think. Yeah, that looks decent. I'll just get my head out the way. You can see what's going on there. I think generally the car's going to look pretty good. Right. I'm gonna get 6 people on it. That's fine. Okay, cool. Right, I think we are pretty much ready to go here. Let's have a look at the team roster. So, Aston Martin, of course, are going to have Pierre Gasly, Fernando Alonso, and Oscar Piastri. At Ferrari, we have got Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Frederick Vesti. Then at Red Bull, we have Max Verstappen. At Mercedes, we have Lewis Hamilton, who has renewed his contract, which is awesome to see. Sergio Perez in car 2, George Russell in car 2 for Mercedes. Dennis Hauger is now the reserve driver for Red Bull. And Nick De Vries is the reserve for Mercedes. At Alpine and Alfa Romeo next, we've got Sebastian Vettel in car 1. Alfa Romeo, Daniel Ricciardo has gone there. He's going to be alongside Antonio Giovinazzi, who is making a return to Alfa Romeo after a couple of seasons out of the sport. Esteban Ocon is in car 2 at Alpine. We've got Verschoor and Robert Kubica at Alfa Romeo and Alpine, respectively. McLaren, Valtteri Bottas has gone and replaced Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren. And we've, of course, got Lando Norris in car 2. That is an awesome lineup for those. Logan Sargent now the reserve for McLaren. Theo Porcher at Alpha Tauri. Now into Haas, we've got Mick Schumacher in car 1, Kevin Magnussen in car 2. At Williams, it is now Lance Stroll and Nico Hülkenberg. So Stroll has left Alfa Romeo, and it looks like Tsunoda is out of the sport, which is a big shame for him, actually. That Yuki Tsunoda doesn't have a seat now. Nico Hülkenberg has got a seat. He's still got a year left on his contract, and, well, that is very, very interesting. It's certainly the case. How long has Lewis got on his contract then? Looks like he is until the end of 2025, so he's got a new 2-year contract. What about Carlos Sainz? So I think he's only got 1 more year. Yeah. Okay. Who else is there? Bottas, of course. So Bottas has signed a 2-year contract at McLaren, so he's there till the end of 2025. Daniel Ricciardo, wow, 3 years. So he's going to be there till the end of 26 at Alfa Romeo. That is cool. Giovinazzi has signed a 2-year contract. Wow. Very, very cool. Okay, right. Okie dokie then. Who's going to be Lewis's new race engineer? Let's have a look. I think it's Ben Mitchell. And Chris Cronin's gone to Mercedes as well. Oh, that's brilliant. So, yeah, both of our engineers have gone to Mercedes. We have... Who else? Who did... What was it? Riccardo Adami went to Red Bull. Who was the other guy that we were looking at? Riccardo Mosconi. So he's gone to Ferrari. Yeah. Wow. There you go. Well, cool. Very, very cool. Right. Head of aerodynamics. Yeah, guessing. Yeah, Enrico Cardiel stayed at Ferrari, and he's got another 3 years now, so he's locked out till 2026. Wow, very, very cool. Right, I think we're pretty much ready to rock and roll, so we'll do that. We've obviously got our designs coming through, and of course, at the start of the season, we have a nice long episode to get us underway. Unused scouts, so yeah, probably driver scouting is what we want to look at. So let's get Max Verstappen scouted. Although I will never ever appoint Max Verstappen, but we might as well get him scouted anyway. We'll get George Russell scouted as well. Would maybe be nice to bring him in at the end of the season. Oh, who was that? Pierre Gasly has a development point, so we are now going to go for his defendant once again. Need to get him up to an 87 ideally. And that's fine. Race simulator complete. Facility upgrade complete. So our CFD simulator is now back online. The boardroom is in need of some TLC. And that has been completed. Brilliant. Right, heading to the end of January then, and we've got our first design of the season. The suspension is complete, so let's head into the suspension. Let's manufacture it. We're going to do it normally, and we're going to make 4 of them, and that will be in place and on the car by the end of Feb. What else do we have? Suspension design center complete. Let's just head into car analysis and see what's happened. So yeah, still not really looking at teams overtaking us. Ferrari, by the way, they look like they're the second best car in some aspects. McLaren are looking like a decent team this season. Red Bull, Red Bull are looking like the big rivals. What about Mercedes? Ooh, that's looking like a bit of a midfield car to me. Alpine, pretty good. Good winter for them. Williams, I mean, good at cooling the car. Everything else, unfortunately. Haas, very, very good in low-speed corners. Haas could be a threat early in the season. AlphaTauri looking good. Wow, Alfa Romeo looking awful. And, Aston Martin, there you go. That's our car. We'll be happy about that. The chassis has now been completed. We, of course, need to go and actually do some more upgrades. We will get those manufactured, 4 of them. And they should be ready for the next Grand Prix in 44 days' time. Right, into car parts development, new project. So we've got side pods, we've got suspension, and chassis, I think, is the next one. So let's head to front wing. Don't actually have any more man hours for it, but I'm actually going to put a little bit more focus on those bits. We're going to take a little bit of focus off those and try and up that a little bit. Yeah. Oh, that looks good. So that's going to go up to first. That's going to go up to 17th. That's what we want to see. Right, let's put 4 people on that on a normal. Well, 46 days is a little bit far away. So we'll go for a rushed on that. I think we can do another one as well, can't we? Oh no, not yet. Apparently. So side pods are done. Let's get them manufactured. 4 of them. Thank you. Car parts development, new project, design. Rear wing this time. Let's put a bit of focus on that. We're going to take a bit of focus off these sections and do something a little bit like that. And that looks good. Looks like we're having a positive impact on the car, which is exactly what you want to see. So when will that be in place? Let's get that rushed through, which obviously costs money. You spend a lot of money at the start of the season doing this sort of thing. We can do an underfloor as well. Definitely want to focus on drag reduction and that. Let's take a bit of focus off those areas of the car. Yeah. Looks like we're going to start the season with a cracking car here. And that will be in place for the second Grand Prix of the year. We might be able to do a little bit of wiggle room on that. Let's just have a little look at this. So if current projects, let's go into design. Yeah, let's edit that. Let's take an engineer off that, confirm it. So that'll take 32 days now, and let's edit that and put an extra engineer on that, and that's 41 days now. Perfect. Right, so we should have those upgrades on the car ready for Bahrain, which is going to be awesome. Scouting complete. So factory in poor ow! Oh, well, it hasn't gone through yet. Up and coming driver Isaac Hajar. Max Verstappen. Oh my goodness, look at that. 24, I mean 35 months left. He's still got 3 years on his contract. Charles Leclerc's is ended at the end of the season. That's an interesting one. 26 years old, of course. Could be an interesting one to replace Fernando. I am pretty much resigned to the fact Alonso will be going at the end of the season. I don't think he's going to get another contract, if we're being completely fair. Gonna go on to drag reduction there. Everything else looks fine. Let's continue on. So manufacturing all complete, which is brilliant. So let's head in and put those on the car. Might as well get the new chassis on there as well. What was the other one? Side pods. Get them on the car as well. Perfect. Right. So the boardroom is complete. Nice. Welcome to the 2024 season. That's crazy to say. Brand new season of Formula One is ahead of us, with every team working closely, or tirelessly, sorry, behind the scenes to create a championship-winning car. Last year saw Aston Martin take home the trophy, with Fernando Alonso claiming first place in the Drivers' Championship. But this year is a clean slate, and excitement is at a fever pitch. There are some brilliant drivers and brilliant minds in the sport, and every single one will be battling for the crown this season. Who will come out on top is anyone's guess, but one thing is for sure, it's set to be one of the greatest years of Formula One yet. There we go. Right, we have got some pre-season testing results. There's the factory. Done. Post Barcelona. So, 9th, 9th, 3rd, 1st, 1st. Very good. 9th and 3rd. 1st, 1st, 3rd. 19th, 17th. Unused scouts. Oh, I'm sorry. Right, let's get Perez scouted. Oh, not really going to be interested in him. Vettel, not a chance. Zhou Guan Yu, possibly. Stroll. Nicholas Latifi. Yeah, but you know, nobody's particularly good out there. Do you know what I mean? It's a little bit awkward. Right, staff-wise, can we get some more scouting done? Let's just get a scout report on Simone Resta for the technical chief, because he is, in theory, better than T-Chung. Okay, Team Hub, poor condition. Let's get that upgraded then. And what's that? Factory upgrade complete. Good. Side pods manufactured. Very good. Okay, cool. How can we... Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not really sure why that's glitched out. So, manufacturing complete for the chassis as well. And the side pods. Perfect. Board confidence check-in. I'm just checking all of it. Ah! Oh my goodness. Oh no. You all seen it at the start of the season. They wanted 7. Oh no, I've waltzed into this championship thinking, goodness me, we're alright here. Long-term objective is to win the Constructors' Championship. We have got until 2026 for that. So I suppose, you know, a couple of more seasons of development of the team. But yeah, the season objective is first. That could be a problem. Right, Design Centre is upgraded, as is the front wing. So new ATR period, Oscar Piastri development, very good. So 2 more development points for him, fantastic, perfect. Nothing for those 2, unfortunately, but we have got one for Giampiero Lambiasi, and we'll put him onto communication. Front wing for him. Front wing design complete. How long have we got? So we've got 11 days. Yeah, we can get pretty much all of it done in time. And we can design ourselves any part of the car that we haven't done just yet. I don't think so. Right. Let's go chassis. I think chassis is going to be a good one. So let's go 1.4. 38, I suppose. Let's try and... I mean, what do we want? Engine cooling is a pretty poor one, isn't it? So let's try and do a little bit of that. Get that in place for the 2nd of April. That looks good to me. We have got plenty more engineers now. So actually we can throw some more people on. Can we? Or do we have to hire some more engineers first? Should we go and do that? Engineering team. Aha. Perfect. Right. So we can edit that. We can put 6 on the chassis. Cool. 6 on that. And 3 on that. Nice. Okay, cool. And continue on then. Rear wing complete. It's all getting a little bit glitchy here. Up and coming driver. Gamba Oyakin. You reckon? I don't think so. Right. Yes, those two are going to be done for then. That's fine. Okie dokie. Not quite got any of those completed yet. Right, well, what are our current projects looking like? That's fine. Yeah, it is definitely glitching, so I am just going to quickly save this. Yeah. And let's go design. What do we fancy? We fancy another rear wing? I mean, to be honest with you, we need to get the cooling down. That's what we need to do. Bit more focus on that. Less focus on these. Right, let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good. Okay. Nope, that's fine. Okay, cool. Right, nearly there, folks. Nearly at that first race. So underfloor is designed. We need to get that manufactured now. And we are going to have to go for emergency. 2 of them. And then we can manufacture 2 normally as well. And we need to make sure... Oops. We need to make sure they are on the car. So we'll install those 2. Need to make sure at least that's on car 1. Change that. Get 2 of those on. Very good. Okay. So I think everything is fine. Okay. Cool. Nice. Nice. Right, post bar rain. Oh, wow. So, third, first. Still struggling in the cooling, but everywhere else we're doing okay. We're actually pretty fast at the start of this season, which is good to see. And then, of course, we've got our expectations. Right, we'll do one more final development. I think it'll probably be another underfloor, if I'm honest with you. And we'll actually throw some weight behind this one. Yeah, this is really like it now. So 56 days, but if we rush it, that will come through quite nicely. And there we go then. Right, well, I think we are ready to rock and roll with Season 2. It's time for me to go and have a break, have some sleep actually, because it's 20 past 11 at night and I need to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Life of a teacher, eh? But yeah, I will be back for you guys in around about a second, and we'll be back for the Bahrain Grand Prix. But that was a good winter. We are in a really, really strong position, so I cannot wait to get into the first race of the season. Can we go and win Bahrain again? Right then, let's get into the race. It's almost 24 hours later. Change clothes. A whole other day has gone by, and I've been excited all day to get back and play the race. So I'm really looking forward to it. Let's see how we get on. By the way, thank you very much for the support on the season finale episode yesterday. I really do appreciate that. So thank you very much for that. But here we go. Into the first race. Things are looking good, of course. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. Oh, I don't think I did any promises. That's a bit of an issue, isn't it? Never mind.
Welcome to the archipelago of Formula One. Bahrain might have a small land footprint, but it's showing its big spirit right now in the grandstands. Either way, it's time for another fantastic weekend of Grand Prix racing. The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. Okay then, let's get to it.
Right then, a clear weekend, of course, in the desert. It's going to be amazing. We're going to give both drivers the chance to ride in FP1, simply because their car parts knowledge is so low. We want to build that up, of course, throughout the weekend. I'm going to go and play practice, and I'll see you guys ready for qualifying, simply because it's very much a long episode, this one. So I'll go ahead and do practice. Well, at the end of FP3, you can see that our cars are doing pretty well, 3rd and 6th. Pace of Ferrari looks very, very good. Kevin Magnussen in the Haas is looking good, but overall, it's pretty damn close. I mean, the top 16 within a second. Alfa Romeo and Williams are a little bit further off, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty close out there. So, without further ado, let's get ourselves into qualifying for the first qualifying session of the year, and we're going to do it in full. So here we go with Q1.
Radio check. Radio check, okay.
Okay, so we're going to look for when there's less traffic on the circuit. Probably going to go for around about there for our first lap in Q1. I mean, it should be more than enough to get one lap in, so perhaps more around here to make sure that when we're coming round, it's absolutely dead. Where? It'll be interesting to see now that the cars are going to go round in anger on low fuel. It'll be interesting to see where everybody ends up. Of course, Fernando Alonso, the world champion, he'll be wanting to set out his stall and get an excellent result here. But it might not happen. So, Fernando Alonso is going to be the first of our two drivers to leave the pit lane under the guidance of Pete Bonington, and it's been very, very cool to have some different radio messages in the car. We've got very used to Ben Mitchell and Chris Cronin, but It's been really, really cool to have some new dialogue, and just it's going to feel nice and fresh this season. Even though our drivers haven't changed, our staff very much have, and our expectations have as well. And going into this season, not only are we capable of pole, but we're expected to get it. So here we go. Fernando Alonso is starting his flying lap. First flying lap of the season. And Pierre Gasly behind him will be doing exactly the same. Carlos Sainz currently quickest. Kevin Magnussen very, very fast in the Haas, and a lot faster than his teammate Mick Schumacher. Sergio Perez currently in the drop zone as well. Zhou Guanyu currently out-qualifying his teammate Alex Albon. Ocon out-qualifying Vettel, and Lewis Hamilton up in 4th, while his teammate Russell, who's got a penalty after a crash in practice, is P9. So it's going to be pretty close, so we're going to need to make sure that this is a good lap. So Alonso doing a 26.8 in the first sector. How does that compare to Leclerc's? Yeah, pretty much the same, 26.894, so slightly quicker than current fastest man, Charles Leclerc, and actually, these two absolutely identical in the first sector. That is ridiculous. But here we go then. Fernando Alonso coming through the middle sector, and goes through that middle sector purple. And that is the sign of a quick car being able to go fastest through the middle sector. What about Gasly? He comes through, only green for him. So Alonso slightly quicker as it stands. 40.2. Oh my goodness, 6,000ths of a second between them. Fernando Alonso, the world champion, comes up to the line. And he goes over the line, and he goes quickest with a 130.1. That's a 10th quicker than Carlos Sainz. Here goes Pierre Gasly, and he goes quickest by 300ths of a second. And it's an Aston Martin 1-2 in qualifying 1. And that is very, very strong. And very, very happy with that. And that will get us nicely through to Q2. And we can sit there. And there are yellow flags out there in Sector 1. Not entirely sure what happened, but
Sounds like someone's
it
locked
doesn't look
up.
like many people are improving. And Sergio Perez, in fact, is out in qualifying 1. That is huge for Red Bull. He is gone. Giovinazzi is out on his return. Nico Hülkenberg out-qualifies his teammate Lance Stroll. And Alex Albon also drops out in Q1. Pierre Gasly and Fernando Alonso the quickest at the moment. So, let's get ourselves into Q2. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to get through on used tyres. So, we'll use our brand new fresh set, but not go for much. Weirdly, no line of dialogue there. We want to go when we think the track is going to be pretty quiet.
I think we've had a car run wide.
Right, so I think actually we're gonna have to wait. Yeah, just sort of missed my opportunity now, but that's okay. We can go out there with the rest of the guys. I just think they're gonna start leaving now, and we certainly don't want to be in with the rabble. It's very weird seeing a Bottas in a McLaren. That is for sure. Right, I'm gonna send Gasly out there. Pardon me, and then Fernando. So they've got their own little part of the track. I don't think the other guys are going out. It was Leclerc. I think that was Kevin Magnussen as well. No, it was Mick Schumacher, so Schumacher's already out. We'll keep an eye on Pierre Gasly as he goes through his lap. Was quickest in Q1, of course. And here we go then. So Max Verstappen is currently P1 on a 1:30.3. That's 2/10 slower than what we managed in Q1. It's going to be Zhou Guanyu that leads us round. But you can see how close it is. Everybody within 7.5 tenths of a second. It is close out there. Pierre Gasly goes green in the first sector. What can Fernando Alonso do? Somebody's locked up out there, and that is yellow flags. And that is one of the McLaren cars. Are they going to get back on track before we get round there? It looks like they've just managed it there. But, yep, Zhou Guanyu goes over the line. Where did he go? He went 7th. The two Mercedes have went through. What about Valtteri Bottas? He improves. What about the two Alpine cars? Ocon goes above Bottas, but Vettel does not. Then Ricciardo's only 12th. Kevin Magnussen has gone quicker. What about Norris? He can't improve. He was the one that locked up. And now we've got the Ferraris. Carlos Sainz coming over the line. Where does he fit in all this? He goes quickest, and that's a much better time. Pierre Gasly currently purple in the middle sector, and he comes up to the line now. What's it going to be? Fernando Alonso going quicker behind, but Pierre Gasly comes up to the line. It's a 1:30.1, and that is quickest for Gasly. What about Alonso? He's got the final corner to negotiate. Is he going to put Sebastian Vettel out, our former driver, who's now at Alpine? We come over the line. Fernando Alonso, he goes quickest now. And that is going to be an incredible battle for pole. Alonso versus Gasly versus Carlos Sainz. And that is quite unbelievable. Very, very good from the top two there. And, well, yeah, very, very happy with that. Carlos Sainz in third. Going out in Q2 then, Sebastian Vettel, Zhou Guanyu, Lando Norris, Daniel Ricciardo, and Mick Schumacher. So, Q3, here we come. So, let's send Pierre out there.
Ready to check? Okay. Ready to check? Okay.
Might as well send them out there. Only team with 2 brand new sets of soft tyres. I'm going to have our first run. Here we go then with Pierre Gasly. Red Bull just leaving the pit lane. I mean, I can't believe Sergio Perez was out in Q1. That was a big, big shock, wasn't it? But, yeah, we're looking good for pole position here. And this is certainly something that we didn't see a great deal last year, was pace in qualifying. There was a couple of tracks we managed to absolutely ace, and generally in changeable conditions. But Gasly coming through, of course, he's going to go purple as he crosses the line before anyone else. We'll then get to see Fernando Alonso, what he can do in that first sector. He comes through and he goes quicker than Pierre Gasly. So at the moment, Fernando looking ever so slightly quicker than his teammate, although in Q1 it was the Frenchman that took the top spot. Now, that Red Bull has got nicely out of the way, but we are coming towards a corner here. And Gasly a little bit impeded there. I don't think fully, but just enough, you would think. Purple, of course, in that middle sector. I'd expect Alonso to be going slightly quicker. And then we've got that Mercedes making some manoeuvres. But now coming around the final corner. And Pierre Gasly's still quicker through that middle sector. And Pierre Gasly is going to come up to the line. And it's a 1:30.1, which is quick enough now. That's quicker than anybody else has achieved, other than Fernando Alonso, who comes over the line, and he is 0.003 of a second slower. And that is quite unbelievable. But that might be more than enough for pole position. The two Ferraris slot in 0.03 behind us. Max Verstappen 0.06 of a second. It's all very, very tight, isn't it? So we'll let all of them get out. But, wow, the top 6 within 0.3 of a second. It's ridiculous. Russell just outside of that as well. It is very, very close out there. Gasly's going to go out first. And Fernando Alonso is going to follow. So Pierre Gasly, let's see his potential pole position lap then. Can he go quicker? We got Kevin Magnussen out there. He's going to probably improve first, then Ocon. And then I presume, is that going to be Carlos Sainz? It is. Then Lewis Hamilton, then Verstappen, then Russell, then Bottas, Leclerc, Gasly and Alonso. So here we go. The final few times of the session then. So here goes Kevin Magnussen. He goes up to the line. Is he going to be able to improve? Can he get into the top 6? Magnussen crosses the line and doesn't improve. What about Ocon? He doesn't improve either. What's going on? Green for Gasly, by the way. He's going even quicker. What about Carlos Sainz? Can he get himself up into pole position? It's going to be pretty tight. And Carlos Sainz stays 4th. What about Hamilton? Hamilton comes over the line. He meets the checkered flag. He doesn't improve. What about Verstappen? No. Russell comes over the line. Is he going to improve at all? He doesn't. Neither does Bottas. This is ridiculous. Nobody's improving. And what about Charles Leclerc? Can he do any better? He comes over the line. No better from him. What about Pierre Gasly, though? He comes over the line and it's a 1:30.132, which is slightly slower. But Alonso, he's going quickly behind. And he doesn't manage it. He improved by 1,000th of a second. And he is 2,000ths of a second off Pierre Gasly, who has taken pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. What a show of pace from our drivers. That is just simply fantastic. 1-2 in the first race. And this year, we might genuinely have the fastest car. Last year, I spent so long saying we don't even have the fastest car. This year, we might, but look how close it is. The top 10 separated by just over half a second. That is quite ridiculous.
Welcome to race day. And before we get down to it, last-minute checks are being made.
There was some astonishing work from Aston Martin during qualifying, and their drivers are now poised to have a very strong race start. We saw a solid qualifying performance from Ferrari, and they're sure to have their chance to push even further during the race. A sunny day here with only a few clouds in the sky. If things stay this way, the weather shouldn't pose any challenges to the teams.
And there's going to be a lot for the teams to handle. So will the drivers and their cars be able to cope with the pressure? Let's find out right here at the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Okay then. Let's think about strategy then. It's going to be Pretty tricky. What I do want to have a look at before anything else, let's just have a look at the circuit info. Last year, of course, we won the race with Fernando Alonso. Pierre Gasly finished 5th. Expected strategies, soft, medium, soft, could well be the one. I'm kind of tempted a little bit more by medium, medium, soft, just because we've got 2 brand new sets of mediums in the bank. I think that could be a quick way to go. So I'm going to switch this strategy to a medium, medium, soft, and I think that will be a little bit quicker. I mean, you can see how... I mean, surely that's just not going to work. Why don't we go medium, medium, hard? Yeah, let's move that back. And I seem to think that's going to be slightly quicker. I mean, the hards maybe just will not be the tyre to be on. But those soft tyres are going to absolutely shred towards the end, aren't they? Yeah. I mean, you can see. They're just going to die. But apparently that is going to be quicker. I mean, what they were saying was soft, medium, soft. There's no way that's going to be quicker. What about hard, medium, medium? Or hard, medium, soft? No. Yeah. This is tough. This is really tough. No, I think medium, medium, soft is probably the way to go. Let's just prolong these stints a little bit. Yeah, that's going to be the quickest way to the end of this race, surely. Surely. Right, Fernando Alonso, we'll switch it up a little bit with him. Just in case we have completely messed it up. We can go soft, hard, soft. Something like that. Get a soft tyre stint in for Fernando. I mean, what are we looking at? No, Gasly's looks a lot better. But with Alonso, we'll go soft, medium, medium. Split the strategy that way. Yeah, that looks good. Let's go for it. Right. You can think all day about these things, and they might not work either way. Stick a bit of extra fuel in the car, and we'll, of course, be letting them race like we did all of last season. And let's get ourselves into the action. Here it is, the first race of the season.
A partly clear night here. The drivers now lined up on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. They're in P1. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. And here's Alonso, the team's second driver. They're in second place on the grid, but that could so easily change in the first few seconds of the race. Everything's been building to this.
So cool to see Fernando with the number 1 on the front
and this is it,
of his car.
the Bahrain Grand Prix.
And looks like Pierre Gasly is going to stick out like a sore thumb as he starts
And away we go.
from pole position on medium tyres. And what a start from the grid for Pierre Gasly. Charles Leclerc is making a move already to try and get past Fernando Alonso into turn 1, but Alonso defends valiantly, but Leclerc is through. But Alonso still side by side, and Alonso manages to make it stick.
This is awesome work, come on.
And now he's chasing after Pierre Gasly, who leads this Grand Prix.
Aston Martin with a great play there.
Going to go
They've
into
moved up a
deploy.
place.
And now we're watching as Fernando Alonso may well make the move on Pierre Gasly. He's got better tyres, or at least quicker tyres than Gasly. What we need Pierre to do is push on. Alonso following him. And what a start to this Grand Prix. So Pierre Gasly leading the way. And we got Fernando Alonso in second. And already Alonso trying to make a move. As we're letting them race, and Alonso side by side with Pierre Gasly. Goes down the inside. And he is through. Fernando Alonso now leads the Bahrain Grand Prix. Put them both on deploy. And there we go. Down the inside he goes. And Fernando Alonso now leads the Bahrain Grand Prix. He's defending champion, of course. Defending world champion to go along with that. And these two pulling away from the Ferraris as it stands. And if Pierre Gasly can stay with Fernando in this first stint, we could well have a duel in the desert on our hands. Alonso leads, then Gasly in second, Leclerc third, Sainz fourth. Max Verstappen is in fifth, ahead of Lewis Hamilton in P6. Then K-Mag in seventh, Ocon eighth, Bottas ninth, and Sebastian Vettel in P10. Everybody is on soft tyres except Pierre Gasly, who is on the mediums. But of course, somebody's ran wide behind. Not entirely sure what's happened there. I think it was potentially Ocon, although Magnussen has been given a penalty and somebody has crashed.
More than one car. Here's the
What has
replay.
happened here?
Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
So Magnussen ran wide and
That's
came back
because
onto the
that's
track.
there.
And I'm surprised. Oh, it is a virtual safety car.
Safety car deployed. Copy.
Let's get those harvesting.
So just charge that pack. Copy.
In theory, those guys behind shouldn't be closing in. So Kevin Magnussen and Valtteri Bottas into the pits. Let's zoom this forward a little bit. Gonna go neutrals all round.
Just recharge off when you're ready. VSC is ending. DRS has been enabled.
So DRS glitch has been fixed. VSC shouldn't turn off the DRS, and it certainly hasn't here. But Fernando Alonso leading the race. He's 1.3 ahead of Pierre Gasly right now, and then Carlos Sainz is in third. And then got Charles Leclerc in P4 for Ferrari. And they'll be battling behind Max Verstappen in P5 ahead of Lewis Hamilton in P6. Ocon and Vettel 7th and 8th. The Zhou Guanyu in 9th. And George Russell rounds out the top 10 at the moment. So, time to zoom it forward a little bit. I think Gasly could be under a little bit of pressure here from Carlos Sainz, and certainly is. I'm not sure it's worth particularly fighting it
Ferrari advance the race
at this
position.
moment, but there you go, Gasly straight through.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
Now Gasly dropping down to P4. Back up to P2 now. But yeah, our priority is going to be the
Aston
1-2
Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
currently. Rather than trying to attack for the sake of it with Pierre Gasly. So 5 laps in. We're not exactly managing to pull away from Sainz. And Alonso himself isn't really pulling away too much. But Gasly doing a good job of defending from Carlos Sainz. He's not going to be able to do that forever.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
But the main thing is, as soon as he gets past, he's retaken the lead of the battle later on. So Fernando Alonso down into the 50s down. Where's everybody else on their tyres? Pretty much the same. So let's have a little look at pit windows. Fernando Alonso's opens in 3 laps time. Gasly down to P4 as it stands. This isn't really his phase of the race where he will make the big changes and the big impact. That's going to come later in the race when all these guys start coming into the pits and Gasly's going to be leading the race.
Aston Martin took a chance and it's paid off.
Well, now Fernando's tyres have dropped off like a stone. Pierre Gasly is going to make the move for first place. And that's exactly what he's done. And now Alonso's going to be under a little bit of pressure from the guys behind. So Alonso's tyres definitely a lot worse than the guys around him.
And think about increasing lift and coast just a little.
Yeah, copy. Update on lift off. We do require fuel lift off.
Copy.
Okay, so Gasly's going to be leading this race now. And if Fernando can get dragged along with the DRS, that should help him out. Well, Fernando back into the lead. He's not going to stay there very long, because Gasly's going to be straight back past. And Sainz having a look as well. No luck this time. But yeah, it's a good old 5-way battle for the lead here. Alonso will be coming in, not next lap, but the one after it, to put his new tyres on. So we're now going to attack with Fernando. Use every ounce of what's left in those tyres. So here we go. Fernando Alonso is going to be coming in this lap. And when are the other guys going to come in? They seem to have prolonged this stint pretty well between all of them. And Fernando absolutely rinsing the tyres. Might as well drop back to standard now. And now, here we go then. So Fernando Alonso coming into the pit lane for our first pit stop of the season. And Verstappen follows him straight in, as does Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. So Fernando coming in. How quickly can he get out there? Pretty good.
Hamilton is in this lap. Hamilton is in this lap. That's put you P2.
Ferrari, advance the race position.
Okay, so Carlos Sainz leads this Grand Prix. He's battling with Pierre Gasly for now.
Simply lovely. Come on, mate.
Hey.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position.
So Pierre Gasly is definitely going to be the race leader for a decent amount of time. Carlos Sainz still doesn't come into the pits. I don't really know how he's going to cope, but he is still pushing. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso doing a great job. Most people have come out onto the hard tyres, so that's interesting in itself. They're going for that fairly conservative middle stint,
Perez in the pit lane.
whereas Fernando is going to be able to push on a little bit here. Begin to catch his teammate. He'll do quite an undercut on Gasly. Gasly still well ahead of Carlos Sainz. Well, Carlos was having a little look there. Didn't go for it. I think Sainz is surely going to be in this lap because the other guys, they've got so much more left in their tyres. Carlos Sainz is still going to follow Pierre Gasly. This is just insanity. On those very old soft tyres, I suppose, retakes the lead of the Grand Prix. He's going to have much better tyres. So there goes Pierre Gasly now chasing after.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Here we go. Oh, what a move from Pierre Gasly.
Aston Martin with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
And there we go then. So, Pierre now leads once again. That was a great move, if I'm honest. And now Fernando Alonso up to P3. He's just moved past Alex Albon. There is only Carlos Sainz out there that hasn't pitted other than Alex. Wow, these two still side by side. What a battle. But quite worrying that Sainz is still able to cope, despite being on 24% soft tyres. Well, yes, he does peel off into the pits, so now is a chance for Gasly to push on a little bit. Now it's less than 50%. We might as well attack until the pit stop. Try and mitigate the amount of time that we lose here. So, Pierre Gasly, how much time is he losing to Fernando? He's losing a fair amount, but it's only really going to be another couple of laps until his pit stop. So here we go. We're going to push. Let's see what we can do here. It is going to be more beneficial towards the end of the race if Pierre Gasly prolongs the stint, just like Carlos Sainz did before. He's now on fresh tyres. So this is our optimal pit stop lap. He's going to go onto the medium tyres once again. So we're going to drop that back down to standard. We might as well go back to balanced on the fuel as well. And we'll see what Gasly can do. So he's going to be coming into his
Just look after
pit
this
box.
tyre pit then. Look after it. Yeah.
So here we go. Pierre Gasly into the pits then. Where is Gasly going to come out? Is he going to come out ahead of Hamilton? Yes, he is. Good. Okay, so Pierre Gasly. Now, on those fresh tyres, is he going to be able to close in on those two Ferraris? Max Verstappen, meanwhile, Andrew can stay in front. Fernando Alonso building that gap nicely in front of this race. It's going to be pretty damn good to see. How quickly Pierre can catch in, close in on that. So let's zoom it forward a little bit. We've been pretty slow in this race so far. So Pierre Gasly, yeah, you can see he's making a couple of tenths a lap. And Fernando Alonso, meanwhile, doing very similar. Let's see Carlos Sainz now. What tyre is he on? He's on the mediums as well. That's very interesting. That he's on the same strategy as Fernando. Pierre now within 2.2 with this little battle for second place. Fernando Alonso currently dominating the race. Obviously Pierre is going to have soft tyres towards the end, so it's going to be a really interesting battle towards the last few laps of this Grand Prix. And if there's a safety car, that'll make it even more interesting. But Pierre Gasly very much in with a chance here. He goes down the inside of Charles Leclerc. What a move that is for Pierre. And now with DRS, he's going to have a little look at Max Verstappen, who's going down the inside of
Looks like
Carlos
Aston
Sainz.
have just gained a race position.
And they're still side by side. This is very good. But I don't think he's going to manage to make the move here, but he could make the move on this next straight.
Overtake is available.
Let's give him that chance. Is he going to swing to the right of the Ferrari? Swings to the left of the Ferrari, and that's fastest lap.
Purple lap. I'll let you know if the situation changes.
And of course, that is an extra point this year. Once again, voted back in, which I'm very, very pleased about. I think it's a great feature of races. And there goes Sainz down the inside. But yeah, it's still not managing to make the move. Now, let's go overtake again. And this time, Gasly has got a little bit of a gap. Yeah, this is pretty close, but because them two are fighting, it's just going to be so difficult.
Yeah.
He's run out of battery, which is a real shame.
So recharge on for the moment.
And all of this is affecting his chances with Fernando Alonso. Might be able to get past Carlos Sainz here. And then, will he be able to get past Max Verstappen up into turn 4? This could be a real chance. Oh, but Sainz makes it back through. Gasly goes to the left, Sainz goes to the right, and Pierre Gasly goes round the outside of turn 4 on Carlos, and he is through.
It's a good stint so far.
Very, very good from Pierre. And now he's going to get a very good run at Max Verstappen on those hard tyres, which is starting to become a little worn now. Alonso, meanwhile, still a little bit away from his pit lap. But Sainz is back through. How did that happen? This is ridiculous. And yeah, Sainz back through. So I think we just need to push on now. I think we will manage to get past. Let's go back to neutral, so should be able to make the move here, really. Pit window entered for Fernando Alonso. Now Pierre should be able to make the move on Carlos Sainz here. And he swings past. And that's really, really good. And now surely he's going to get a good run.
Yeah, you're past, you're through.
On Max Verstappen, this is going to be the moment, surely.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race
Well, it
position.
should have been, but not yet. So we'll keep pushing it forward. And now, here we go. DRS open, and Gasly is finally through, and we're going to deploy and try and get away from this little group while we've got the opportunity, while we've got the tyres, and while they're battling, we can try and get back into the battle for the lead of this Grand Prix, and already more than a second ahead, and that is exactly what we needed to do with Pierre. That is perfect. And now he can set his sights on Fernando Alonso. We do have a lock-up, and it's Sebastian Vettel, I believe. And that is a shame for him. Fernando Alonso, 53% tyres. I think let's go aggressive on them. The next couple of laps before he comes into the pits. But Fernando Alonso doing a really good job out top. He'll be coming in not next lap, the one after. So, managing to get through as many of those tyres as possible. Magnussen locks up again, and it's those two at the back of the race. Bottas and Magnussen, of course, they had a shunt at the start of this Grand Prix. Now they'll be going back onto medium tyres. Meanwhile, Pierre Gasly's still got a little while on his tyres, but Alonso definitely being caught here. It's going to be Fernando Alonso coming in for his final pit stop. Where's he going to come out? Can he come out ahead of Lewis Hamilton? That's going to be the big question. And Gasly now takes over the lead of this Grand Prix. It's going to be so close between these two. Who is going to come out on top? Because on these brand new medium tyres, you'd expect Fernando to be a lot quicker. I think he is going to come out just ahead of Lewis, but Lewis is going to have momentum. But he is away. That's a good gap to get into. And now Fernando, let's see what he can do here. This is good. Already 1.5 ahead. And we'll be pushing as best he can.
Let's have a lift off.
So Pierre Gasly will be coming into the pits in around about 6 laps time. Obviously we'll be putting on the soft tyres. Let's keep an eye on the gap to the leader. So 19.5 seconds is the gap between Alonso and Gasly right now. Alonso closing in slightly at the moment. The longer Gasly can keep that above 50%, the better for him. As soon as it drops below 50, that's when it's going to become a bit of an issue.
That is fastest
lap from Fernando. A 1:36 flat. What's anybody else doing out there? Nobody is near that pace. And it shows Fernando is in a world of his own. World champion. Doing world champion things. So Gasly into the pit window. About 3 laps away from Pierre coming into the pits now. He's dipped below 50%. We might as well try and pick up the time. And those guys behind there on very old hard tyres, most of them. Obviously Sainz on pretty old medium tyres. Fernando's gonna basically cruise up to the back of that. He'd love it if they came into the pits before that happens, because that would just give Alonso a clear run then. He doesn't particularly want to catch them while they're battling, otherwise he'll have the same issue that Pierre Gasly had before. Now, let's keep pushing. Sainz is in. And Sainz has dropped behind Perez. Wow, that is huge. But I assume he's gone on to soft tyres. Yeah. So, the longer Gasly can prolong this, the better it's going to be for him. So, what tyres are best? Yeah, let's go for those ones. And then we're going to switch to standard.
Who's running wide
as soon
there?
as we can. So Kevin Magnussen running wide. Not got long to go here. Fernando struggling to get past those guys. Gasly into the pits. Where is he going to come back out? He's going to come back out pretty far behind Fernando here. Those two are in.
So Verstappen in the pit lane now.
Gasly away.
Leclerc in the pit lane now.
Okay, Gasly on 86% tyres. He's going to be chasing after Fernando Alonso on 80% tyres. But there's a step between them. This is going to be very exciting. Let's leave it a few laps and see what unfolds here. I'm assuming Pierre Gasly is going to dump in the fastest lap of the race straight away. It's going to be who can do it, because Gasly's going to be closing in around about a second a lap, you would imagine. Still no fastest lap though for Gasly. It's Max Verstappen that has put in fastest lap so far. Five seconds between them. Gonna keep zooming on. They're on virtually the same tyres now, but of course Gasly on soft tyres. Alonso on mediums, so Gasly still with the advantage. Yellow flags. Certainly not going to
Sounds like we've had
be a
spin.
safety car. But we're now within 1.1 seconds. And we've got 5 laps to go. We'll pick it up with 4 laps to go here.
Someone's run wide.
So here we go. They are side by side. I'm going to up the ante a little bit.
We do not require any fuel liftoff.
Yeah.
And this is going to be Duel in the Desert Volume 2. And over the next 10 minutes or so, that is where we're going to see an awesome duel between two drivers at the absolute top of the game. Gasly now beneath 50%, but as I say, on those soft tyres. And he's going to make a move for the lead here. And Alonso lets him past. I think that's wise. And Alonso's going to let Gasly use his tyres up and try and strike before the end. But if Gasly gets more than a second in front of Fernando, that's when there's going to be issues. So 15 seconds ahead of anyone else. It's going to be an Aston Martin victory unless they have an incident. And Alonso's coming back here at Pierre Gasly. He's going to have a look down the inside, but doesn't manage it this time. Well. They're still following each other. Going to be quite ridiculous, and we're actually going to zoom forward because I am conscious of the timings of this episode. We're going to zoom forward until the last 2 laps of this Grand Prix, and Fernando's back through, but Gasly now having a look round the outside. Doesn't happen, but 2 laps to go here. Well,
We've got 2 laps remaining.
They're still going at it.
Okay.
And Fernando Alonso is leading the way. Pierre Gasly is in second, but I'm worried those tyres are going to go flat. And here we go. Gasly having a little look. That's his first chance. No luck there. So we zoom it forward until the next possible overtaking zone, which is down into turn 11. And come round. No lock up there. And Pierre Gasly looking for redemption for 12 months ago. Here goes Gasly this time. He is through on his teammate Fernando Alonso. And that is quite unbelievable. And we're closing in on last lap territory, where both drivers are going to get to use everything from their tyres. So Pierre Gasly is going to go attack. He's going to go deploy. Fernando Alonso is going to go attack. He's going to go deploy.
Pick up the pace. Pick up the pace.
And it's Max Verstappen that's spun, and he, I think, has caused a collision somewhere, because he's now got a penalty. I'm not really sure what's happened there, but final lap of this Grand Prix then, and it's going to be Gasly versus Alonso.
Let's keep the pressure on. You can do this.
And here we go with Fernando Alonso. He's going to have a look down the inside here. Oh, not quite. Not quite. That was close. Well, well, well. Using ERS here. Not managing to do much. And here we go again. Pierre Gasly.
Temps are climbing. Temps are now climbing.
Is going to defend from Fernando. It's going to be side by side, and Alonso goes down the inside. And Alonso back into the lead. The World Championship leading the way. Leading the way here, the World Champion, I should say. And Gasly, how much more has he got left in the tank? He's out of ERS. I don't think he's going to have a chance here, other than DRS on the rundown to the line.
So we are low on battery.
So here we go. Pierre Gasly with DRS. It's going to be a drag race, but it's Fernando Alonso who wins. And that is quite unbelievable. What a result. And fastest lap at the end as well. A 1:33.9.
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Thanks, guys.
We'll take that. Fail 84, please, mate. Fail 84.
Very, very good. And what a very, very good race that was. And we have a podium.
What a flawless
lockout
weekend here from Fernando Alonso. His team must be proud. This podium is a remarkable achievement.
And the world champion Fernando Alonso hung on today. Boy, oh boy, did Pierre Gasly give it his everything there. That was just fabulous from both drivers, I have to say.
Veteran rounds off another great drive, adding to his.
And Carlos Sainz finishes third. He's very much been the other fastest man this weekend, but we finish, or start the next season, how we were finishing the last,
Remember,
being the dominant team.
It's not just about today's trophies, it's the points that can make all the difference.
But,
Today,
wow, if that's going to be the battle this season,
they can go very far.
that's going to be pretty ridiculous. But there we go. Fernando Alonso wins ahead of Pierre Gasly in second, then Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Russell, Perez, Norris and Vettel round out the top 10. That means in the Constructors we get maximum points of 44. Ferrari there in second. Red Bull and Mercedes are tied for third position. And Pierre Gasly gets himself a development point, which is nice, as does Fernando Alonso. And nothing for Oscar Piastri, of course. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. 4.4 million in the bank as well. And that is going to be that for this episode. It's been a pretty good one. It's been a pretty long one as well for the first race of the season. So I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.